Hello world, welcome back to The Sheep and the Wolf. I have a cold. I've been having a cold for over a week now, which is really long for me anyway, and I'm so done with it, but it doesn't seem to be getting any better, it seems to be getting worse. Anyway, I'm not feeling particularly great today, so I'm going to make this a short video. I participated in the Project TBR Read-a-thon last week, which was hosted by Benjaminoftomes, and today I want to present the wrap-up of my read-a-thon experience, but before I do, I want to draw your attention to something else. If you are watching this video and you didn't skip the beginning, you will have seen my beautiful new intro, and if you stick around long enough, you will also see my beautiful new outro. And if you go over to my channel and have a look, you will also see my matching new channel art. Now, apart from all this stuff being absolutely gorgeous, it was also custom made by my very talented friend Evelina, who's a graphic designer, and she did the designing and the actual execution of the work as well as the animation, and it's beautiful. I'm just so happy with it. There is a sheep and a wolf, and there's a tiny owl that blinks, and there's a little moon, which you probably cannot see because YouTube insists on cropping the image, but I will put a full-size image on screen right now. If you don't think that's gorgeous, then you can get out. Anyway, I will put all of Evelina's information down below, so if you want to have a look at her website, admire her stuff, stalk her on Twitter, commission her to do something for you, which is completely possible, then, you know, go ahead, do it. Alright, back to the read-a-thon. Like I said, I participated in the Project TBR Read-a-thon hosted by Benjaminoftomes, which ran from the 16th to the 22nd. The idea was to read books from your TBR to make a bit of a dent in your TBR, and you know, we can all use that. In addition to that, there were 4 challenges and 1 bonus challenge. So I will briefly mention the challenge and then tell you which book I read for that challenge, and then my feelings about the book. The first challenge was to read a book under 250 pages, and I read The Uncommon Reader by Bennett. This is a very short book about Queen Elizabeth II of England, who becomes a very avid reader in a very brief span of time. Elisa, who is actually the owner of this book, I'm borrowing this from her, didn't like it at all, so I was kind of apprehensive about reading it, but I really loved it. I don't want to give anything away, but the final sentence was the best ending to a book I've read in a while. The second challenge was to read a book over 500 pages, and I read a bind-up of the first 3 volumes of the Chronicles of Amber by Roger Zelazny. I've had this book for years, and I'd already partially read the first volume, but that was years ago, so I decided to just read this whole thing. And I did. I quite enjoyed it. I think the first volume is my favourite, even though it's very open-ended, and I'm definitely one for wanting to know how a story ends and having a nice rounded off ending. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I will talk about this more in my wrap-up for the entire month. The third challenge was to read a book with green on the cover, and I chose this one, April Witch by Majgull Axelsson. This is a Swedish book originally. This is a Dutch translation. It has also been translated into English. Essentially, it's a book about 4 women. 3 of them have lived with the same foster mother in their childhood, and one of them is the biological daughter of that foster mother but has never lived with her. Some aspects of this book were very different from what I thought they would be, and consequently I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would initially. But again, I will talk about this more in my wrap-up video for the entire month because I don't want to talk too much today. The fourth challenge was to read an underrated novel, and I skipped this challenge. The main reason for that is that this was a TBR read-a-thon, and I didn't have any books on my TBR that I actually own that are underrated novels, so I didn't want to get a book specifically for this because that kind of defeats the purpose of participating in a TBR read-a-thon, so I skipped this challenge. I continued to the bonus challenge, which was to read a sequel that you haven't gotten round to yet, and for that I picked Hollow City by Ransom, which is the sequel to Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. I didn't finish this book in the read-a-thon. I got to page 290 of about 396. I have finished it now because I just continued reading it after the read-a-thon because I really wanted to know how it ended. I've heard and read mixed reviews of Miss Peregrine's because people expect it to be super scary and it's more of an adventure story, but I really loved it and I couldn't wait to read this one. I don't own this book, I'm borrowing this from another friend. Although I do think Miss Peregrine's was slightly better. I don't even know. I really enjoyed this one. So that's what I did last week. I read 3 books and most of the 4th one. I really enjoyed everything I read, which I'm very happy about, and I'm considering doing book reviews of a few of these. So yeah, that was the Project TBR readathon for me. One final thing, I'm about to hit 200 subscribers, which doesn't sound like much considering there are people out there with thousands of subscribers. But for me, it's a really big milestone. If I picture myself talking to a room of 200 people, I couldn't do that in real life. I couldn't do that. So I'm really happy to be able to do that via YouTube. I plan to do a little something special when I reach 200. I don't know yet what I'm gonna do, but I'm sure it's gonna be fun. So if you want to see that, you can help me reach 200 by, you know, promoting my channel, promoting this video, subscribing if you haven't done so already. I mean, no pressure or anything, but I would like to reach 200. I hope you liked this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again next time.